So, hello everyone. So today I'm going to tell you guys about my thoughts and review on Jeffy's 18th birthday. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is SML's recent video, and one thing I should also mention is that this is technically the SML movie, or the Super Mario Logan movie, so we can all finally say that it's finally here. It's something that none of us would have expected, but some of the parts were in the trailer, so yeah. So I like to think that this is the movie, and if that's the case, then it's a good movie. So yeah, but either way, yeah, like I said, I just think it's a good movie. But yeah, now then, let's get into it, shall we? So yeah, now I'll be breaking this up into a few sections. The first section is the things that I like and loved about it. So let's get into it, shall we? Now the first thing that I love about this video is the opening. I mainly like the part where it has an Among Us sound at the beginning. By the way, one thing I should mention is that I was going to show footage from this in the video, but I just figured that I wouldn't, and I forgot to mention this, but this is spoilers for this episode if you haven't seen it. So yeah, so I suggest you go watch it if you haven't seen it yet. Another part that I like about this episode is I like the beginning with Bubbles. He's also in the beginning, well, at the beginning of the movie. I'm just going to call it a movie, since that's technically what it is. Since it's, well, it's basically the length of a movie, what it would be, even though movies are usually long, but it's fine. Another thing that I really like about this episode is I like the fact how it reveals that Jacques-Pierre Francois is alive, and I'm also going to be adding another part to this category, is funny moments that I thought were funny. The next part that I thought was really funny is another part with Jacques-Pierre Francois, and that is the part where he says, well, when it's revealed that he's alive, and he basically says to Jeffy about, he tells him to F off. But yeah, like I said, well, he doesn't know who his name is, so yeah. Well, he says, son, if you can hear your papa, and then he just says that. But yeah, but either way, I just think that's cool. And yeah, like I said, another thing that I like is I also like the ending part with the reveal about the van explosion. That part I just like. Another part that I like about this video is, well, basically the part with Brooklyn guy when he says, "Oh, I'm sorry, do you see a gas station in this fucking field?" And then I like the fact how Jeffy at the end was a badass, and because he basically took on his mom on his own, and he shows that he could put up a fight, and he was even able to get the gun out of her hands. And yeah, another thing I like about this episode is that they use prop guns to make it look like real guns. I think that shows how well this was, since it's been so long since SML used props like that to represent guns. But yeah, I also like the ending part though, where it was revealed that Jeffy and Screwball survived the explosion, and only Nancy was the one who was defeated. And honestly, I think this is a pretty good way for her story to end, and for her to go out in SML, since she's been there since Jeffy's parents, and that was back in 2017, if I remember. So that was like a long time ago. And by the way, like I said, I forgot to say this, but I'm sorry if I accidentally said something bad by mistake. I just always want to clarify that. And yeah, another thing I like has to go with the fact that Jeffy took on his mom. I like the fact how Jeffy stood up for himself against his mom after all that time. I mean, like then, I wouldn't blame him for hating his mom, since after all the way that he treated her, or she treated him, I mean, yeah. But yeah, I also like the fact about the chase scene, and yeah, like I said, and I like how Jeffy's final words to his mom after he shot her was the fact about, die, bitch. Well, that's basically what Jeffy said. If you watch the episode, I just want to clarify that. So yeah, another thing I like is I like how they reused this ice cream sound from the trailer, since in the trailer they used an actual ice cream truck, but since they couldn't do that this time, since they got rid of that ice cream truck, I forgot if they were renting it or so, but either way, they had used Screwball's van instead, but I think that's a pretty good idea. And yeah, another thing I like is I like the reveal that Nixon, that was basically the explosion itself of the van. I just thought that was pretty cool and pretty badass. And yeah, but overall, I just like their emotions in this Nixon. In my opinion, whenever it tells that a video series or movie tells that it's good if it makes me cry, or if it gets me hits hard emotionally. And to me, this video did that. It hit me hard emotionally when I'm sure that I, along with other people, thought Jeffy may have passed, may have not made it after the explosion. But basically, what I mean by that is, of course, I mean like in the explosion. I'm sure that a lot of us thought that Jeffy was a goner. Same with Screwball, but I thought it was less revealed that it was revealed that he survived along with Screwball. And another thing that hit me hard was when Mario tried to explaining to Rosalina what happened. And yeah, by the way, I'm just gonna call it Mario and Rosalina since I don't feel like calling them their new names that they were given, them being Marvin and Rose. I just don't feel like calling them that, so yeah. So I'm just gonna stick to their old names. So yeah. Another part that I like is I like how the flashback scenes to earlier that day before the explosion of the van, where it was revealed from Jeffy's point of view and Screwball's point of view. It basically showed two of the same parts when Screwball revealed to Nancy that they were running out of gas. So one thing that it shows is that both Brooklyn Guy and Screwball running out of gas. Well, that was before. Brooklyn Guy running out of gas was before the explosion, and then yeah, and same with Screwball. But that was a flashback to earlier that during the chase was Screwball and Jeffy's flashback. Let me explain more about Jeffy and Screwball's flashback, and that was the fact how in Jeffy's it was revealed that he took the gun out of his mom's hand and promptly shot her in the face. And yeah, and then for Screwball's, it shows that same thing about when he told her that they were running out of gas. Well, he told that to Nancy and Jeffy. Well, mainly Nancy, I feel like. And then that's when Jeffy shot her in the face. And from Screwball's point of view, after he heard that gunshot from Nancy, well, from Jeffy shooting Nancy, he jumped out of the van as well. So, needless to say, Jeffy and Screwball jumped out of the van. But when Jeffy jumped out of the van, that's when he said, "Die, bitch." But yeah, so I think that's an interesting way for Jeffy to put an end to his mom. But once again, I don't blame Jeffy for hating his mom after the way that she treated him, and after she revealed that she never loved him and that she was an accident. That shows that you're not a good parent, if I'm being honest. Since who would say that to a kid? That's what I feel like. And another thing I also want to mention is that I like the ending when Mario was happy that Jeffy was okay, and same with Rosalina, and that Jeffy said that he loved them, and I can tell that they can be a big happy family. And yeah, even though in the first part, all Mario wanted from Jeffy was the money that he was supposed to inherit from his dad, but since it was revealed that Jacques Pierre Francois, who is Jeffy's dad, survived, like I said, Mario was of course pissed that he wasn't getting any of the money and he was going to kick Jeffy out, which I feel like is a scumbag thing to do and a dick move, especially on his birthday. But Mario learned his lesson since he actually felt bad that Jeffy was taken, and he told them for them to go after her after Nancy got Jeffy. But since they said that they didn't have any guns, which is another part that I'll talk about, and the dislikes part, since yeah. But either way, like I said, that's just basically all the positive things I can think about this, since there's not much I can think about. And one final thing I want to talk about is the party scene. I just like the party scene in general. And yeah, another part that I like is I like how they let Patrick go after he found out their plan, since all Patrick wanted to do was he just liked the van. So I thought that was pretty funny. Another final part that I think that was pretty funny was when Cody said to Patrick, "I'm gonna hide when you turn 18," since Patrick was saying some wacky stuff. But yeah, like I said, I just thought that was funny. And yeah, now let's talk about the negative stuff that I didn't really like about this episode that much. And yeah, and basically the main part about this episode that I didn't really like is the way how Brooklyn Guy and Simmons were acting. However, according to my friend Rebecca, that's how Goodman. I'm sorry, did I say Goodman? Brooklyn Guy and Simmons. There we go. That's what I want to say. Brooklyn Guy and Simmons. According to my friend Rebecca Gang, you should go check him out. According to him, that's how Brooklyn Guy and Simmons are. They're just wacky. But yeah. But overall, I just thought that was pretty interesting. But the parts I didn't like about that had them in it were the singing part. At first, I thought it was okay, but I feel like it got old fast since they were just like singing in serious situations. Like after Mario got taken, which yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention that Mario was taken by Nancy, and they were gonna hold him for ransom until Nancy got the money and Jeffy. But even though she got Jeffy, she didn't get the money. But yeah, but once again, Jeffy survived, which I'm happy about. and Nancy was finally defeated. And yeah, now let's talk about another part that I didn't really like about this episode, and that was the fact how Brooklyn guy was so worried about his Subaru, his Honda. If I remember, that's what it is. His Honda. He was so worried about. He was so worried about telling it to Rosalina, and he was so persistent on him giving her a ride in the car around the neighborhood that they lived in, or that they live in, which that part kind of pissed me off since, like I said, which I feel like that dragged away from the plot a bit, I'd say, since all Rosalina was worried about was saving Mario, and yeah, which I don't blame her, since like I would have wanted to go save him, but apparently for Brooklyn guy, his car was more important, and he was complaining about that he had to get in the police car because it was uncomfortable, but yeah, but he got in it, so yeah. And one other thing I should mention is I just think that another part that didn't really stick with me was the part that when Brooklyn guy was interrupting Rosalina when she was trying to explain to him about the situation. Well, that was after he got done giving her a ride in the car, and to me that sticks with me. Like I said, that part just managed to stick with me because me knowing how it feels to be interrupted, especially in live streams that I've done. Like I said, to me I just don't like how Brooklyn guy interrupted Rosalina, because I feel like that was me in that situation being interrupted, which is something that I don't appreciate. So yeah. Another part that I think I should also mention about is when Mario got what he deserved, since I kind of feel like Mario deserves something for his actions, since as soon as he found out that Jeffy wasn't getting the money, he was pissed, and he was acting all nice before to Jeffy on his birthday, just because he was gonna get that money. Well, he thought he was gonna get a piece of that money, but nope, he didn't. So yeah, that's when he was pissed, which was when I got kind of pissed, since I didn't appreciate that. Like Rosalina said, since Rosalina knew the whole time that Mario only wanted the money, I feel like, but she just went along with it, and she acted like, well, I couldn't tell if she was acting to go along with it, but I always knew that Rosalina was more caring of the two that cared about Jeffy. But yeah, one other thing I should point out is that I just want to point this out as when the doorbell rang, Junior and the other characters came into the room, that being Cody, Patrick, and Joseph, which to me that doesn't make sense since Junior lives there. I just wanted to point that out, or unless he was there the whole time and just waited to come into the room with the other people. I just wanted to point that out. So yeah. And the other part that I didn't really like I thought was interesting was when basically, since it was Brooklyn guy's birthday as well, like I said, that's all Brooklyn guy was also worried about was his birthday, which yeah, I can understand that. But yeah. And two final things I want to talk about that I also didn't really like was the part with the negotiation phone call scene, was when Brooklyn guy and Simmons straight up told Nancy that they were the police, and like a tone, they had like a certain tone, like they had an aggressive tone, and Brooklyn guy told Simmons to call her a bitch, which he did afterwards. But yeah, another thing I want to mention is yeah, like I said, the last part that didn't really stick with me was the part when Brooklyn guy and Simmons were told to meet up with Nancy in the field, which they said that field, like, apparently everyone knew about that field, but yeah, that's apparently what they called her, and yeah, which I didn't really get. But yeah, like I said, another thing I should also mention about is that, once again, going off to this part here, with the negotiation scene where they meet Mario, or meet Nancy in the field to trade Mario for Jeffy, and yeah, like I said. But yeah, overall, like I said, that part what I'm trying to get to, like I said, here I'll get to the part. The thing that I didn't really stick with me is when on the phone, they agreed no guns, even after the way the Brooklyn guy acted. Nancy still talked with him for the demands, and yeah, like I said, that part I just didn't really get, since I'm sure that, like I said, I'm surprised that they didn't think that Nancy would have actually not had a weapon with her, which she's a criminal. I would think that all criminals have a gun. So the part that didn't really stick with me is that why didn't they think to bring guns? Apparently they actually didn't bring guns, which to me, yeah, that's how Jeffy got away. Well, that's how Nancy took Jeffy, because they couldn't go after her because since she had a gun and they didn't, which yeah, sure, I can understand that, but I have a feeling like if she did shoot at them for them basically trying to get away. Since here's what I think should have happened, is I think how it should have happened was after they got Mario from Nancy, since Nancy did let Mario go, they were after that, pretty much what I'm trying to say is after they got Mario back from Nancy, Jeffy was told to go with them, or to go with her. But here's what I think should have happened, is that Jeffy actually went with her, since they didn't have any guns. But the thing that I think that should have happened was that after they got Mario back, I feel like they all four of them should have gotten in the car, since it was Broken Guy, Simmons, Jeff, and Jeffy. And after they got Mario, I feel like they should have just got back in the car and left. And even though Nancy had a gun, I feel like they could, if they would have drove fast enough, they would probably have avoided the shots if she would have been firing at them. Since but another thing I also want to point out is that after it turns out that it turns out that they did have a gun in the car the whole time, which was a sniper rifle, which that was basically the cause of the explosion for Simmons shooting the gas tank out of the van, even though Broken Guy told Simmons to shoot the tires out. But yeah, that's another part that I like. But that's another part that I find interesting, is when Broken Guy told Simmons, "You must feel even worse," since they felt bad after they thought that Jeffy died in the explosion. That's when Broken Guy said, "You must feel really worse because you fucking suck at shooting." Which, yeah, like I said. And apparently the Simmons, because they're both round. I just wanted to point that out. But yeah. But either way, yeah, once again. Overall, I just think that Broken Guy and Simmons should have taken this situation a lot more seriously than what they did. Since they did take it seriously a lot of times. And they did have some good points. I'll give them credit for that. They did have some good points. But that's just what I think. But yeah, once again, I just want to clarify once again that after Jeffy was taken by Nancy, that's when they realized that they had a gun in the trunk, which, sure, I can understand that. People get confused sometimes. I get confused, so I'm not blaming them for that. It's just, yeah, I just wanted to point that out. But yeah, and one thing I just want to clarify is that if it sounds like I'm hating this episode, I'm not. I actually really love this episode. It's just those parts in particular, they just didn't stick with me. But either way, everyone won in the end. Nancy was defeated, and even though Mario may not have got that money, and even though Jeffy may not have the money, he's happy that he's with his family, and Mario and Rosalina seem happy. Well, mainly Mario, since I'm surprised that Mario changed, actually. I'm surprised about that, but I have a feeling that the next SML video, he'll probably go back to hating Jeffy, maybe. But either way, like I said, I'm happy that Jeffy's alive, and yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's all the things I wanted to talk about in this video. Once again, I just want to clarify, I'm sorry if I accidentally said something bad by mistake. Every time I keep thinking I'm saying something bad by mistake, I just always want to clarify that, and yeah. And one final thing I want to talk about, once again, is that overall, I just love this episode, once again, and yeah. I'm not sure if I'll make any other review type SML videos, but I just figured I would do this one, since I just wanted to make this one, and yeah. And once again, yeah, that's pretty much all I'll say. Same video. Thanks for watching, and bye everyone. Bye.